If I die tomorrow, I've won. I have to write the world a check. I have to pay for my sins.
Mike Tyson is probably one of the most famous boxers in the world, being known to almost everyone, even if they're not a boxing fan. There are also a lot of interesting things about him you probably didn't know, and if you're a fan, you're going to want to watch this video. Today, we'll be talking about Mike Tyson, his net worth, his lifestyle, and how he spends his millions. If you like content like this and want to see more, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications so you can be the first to know about my next video. Alright, let's get into it. Number 1. His beginnings. Michael Gerard Tyson was born on June 30th, 1966 in Brooklyn, New York City. His father abandoned the family around the time Tyson was born, leaving just his mother to take care of him and his 2 older siblings. When his mother died when Tyson was 16, Tyson was left in the care of boxing manager and trainer Cus D'Amato. As a child, he committed many petty crimes, and by the time he was 13, he had been arrested 38 times, leaving him to go to the Tryon School for Boys in Johnstown. It was there that he discovered his talent for boxing with the help of Bobby Stewart, a juvenile detention center counselor and former boxer himself. He trained Tyson for a few more months before introducing him to who would be his next guardian, Cus D'Amato. Number 2. Rise to fame. Before his rise to stardom, Tyson competed in the Junior Olympics and won gold medals in 1981 and 1982. And he also won heavyweight gold at the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. He made his professional debut as an 18-year-old in 1985 in New York. He defeated Hector Mercedes via first-round TKO and followed that to win 28 of his first 28 fights by TKO, 16 of which came in the first round. This gave him a lot of media attention, and he was known as the next heavyweight champion. In 1986, Tyson was given his first title shot against Trevor Berbick for the WBC Heavyweight Championship, and he won by a TKO in the second round at the age of 20. This made him the youngest winner in history. He rose to fame because he intimidated other fighters with his strength, accuracy, coordination, and timing, making him a difficult opponent to compete against. Number 3. Titles. Mike Tyson, also known as Iron Mike because of his strength, is still considered one of the best boxers of all time because of all the titles he's won. Some of his titles include WBA, WBC, and IBF titles, and defended them for 9 years before losing to Buster Douglas in 1991. He regained some of the titles later on in his career. He has a professional record of 58, 50, and 6, and an incredible 44 wins by TKO. Tyson is definitely not the boxer to mess with, and considering all of his wins by TKO, a lot of the boxing world thinks so as well. This is definitely one of the reasons why he held so many of his titles for so many years and remained unmatched for so long. Number 4. Trial and jail. Unfortunately for many fans, Tyson has been on the bad side of the law for a long time as well, and some of the things he has done has lost him a lot of fans. In 1991, he was arrested and put on trial for the rape of Desiree Washington. He tried to argue during the trial, saying that it was consensual, but was later convicted of the charge in 1992, sentenced to 6 years in prison and 4 years probation. He only ended up serving 3 years in prison, however, and went back to boxing for 10 more years before retiring from the sport. Number 5. Personal life. Tyson currently lives in Seven Hills, Nevada. He's been married 3 times and has 7 children. His first marriage was to actress Robin Givens from 1988 to 1989, but this marriage was not a happy one and only lasted a year before the two divorced. They had no children together either. His second marriage was to Monica Turner from 1997 to 2003, and the couple had 2 children together, Amir and Raina. They divorced because Turner claimed he had cheated. His third marriage is to Lakeisha Spicer, and the two married in 2009. They have 2 children together, Milan and Morocco. The two are still married and currently live in Seven Hills together. Tyson unfortunately lost a daughter, Exodus, in 2009 due to an accident that happened at home. He does not discuss this in the media. Number 6. His net worth. Seeing all the success Tyson had in his career, we could already guess that he is one of the highest paid boxers and that his net worth must be high. However, it's definitely not as high as we could have imagined. As of 2021, Mike Tyson's net worth is $3 million. Over the years, he was worth around $300 million, but managed to lose it all due to many of his expensive habits. $3 million is still a pretty large amount though, and I wouldn't complain. Number 7. 7. How did he lose his money? Tyson loved to spend money in his prime, and because he was earning so much with all of his fights, he hardly ever thought about it. Business Insider stated that the reason he lost all of his money was because of his excessive partying. He would throw massive parties that involved many women, and also spend a lot of his money buying them expensive gifts, such as luxury cars, which we all know don't come cheap. Tyson also bought himself a pet tiger during the peak of his career, and he also had to pay for upkeep, which ate into his budget. However, Tyson also had to pay a lot of legal fees as his pet tiger allegedly bit someone. Yikes! A lot of his money was blown after he got out of prison. In just the first 3 years after he got out of prison, he spent $4.5 million on motorbikes and bought 19, one for each of his friends. He also had a budget of $100,000 a month on jewelry and clothes. Where did he even keep them? During this time, he also bought a 21-bedroom, 24-bathroom mansion in Connecticut, which had its own nightclub and casino, as well as a home in Ohio that had gold-plated furnishings. With all of the expenses of his lavish lifestyle, Tyson managed to blow over $300 million and filed for bankruptcy back in 2007 when he was $23 million in debt. At least he took some responsibility for some very poor budgeting. Number 8. More about his lavish lifestyle. There's a lot more to be said about the lavish lifestyle Tyson lived, especially before he went bankrupt in 2007. Tyson is believed to have bought 11 cars in his lifetime, and among these was a limited edition $500,000 Bentley Continental SC. Only 73 of these cars were ever made. He also owned a number of Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Mercedes, and even a Rolls-Royce, which he ruined in an accident, sent it to an auto repair garage, and told them to keep it. Those people at the garage were pretty lucky. He was also known to lend cars to his friends and forgot who he loaned them to, so he had to send people out looking for them. I'll be honest, it sounds like he was kind of on the road to bankruptcy for a long time. Number 9. He bought a 407-acre ranch. In 2016, Mike Tyson bought a 407-acre ranch in California, which he plans on turning into a marijuana ranch with a hotel, festival ground, and the world's longest lazy river, which will apparently take an hour to flow down. This ranch will complement the business he started in 2016, a cannabis company called Tyson Holistic Holdings, which sells marijuana strains, edibles, and merchandise. He also plans to open the Tyson University on those same grounds. It will be dedicated to teaching cannabis growing techniques to dedicated farmers. Even though he did go bankrupt, it seems like he's making a lot of money from the marijuana market, especially with his plans to open up this huge resort. Good for him, right? Number 10. You won't believe how much marijuana he smokes in a month. It seems that Tyson can't do anything lightly, and he now owns a company that grows marijuana. According to an article by Metro, Tyson spends roughly $40,000 a month on weed after he bought his marijuana ranch. He and his team at the ranch apparently smoke 10 tons each month while working on the ranch. That's a lot of marijuana, so I hope there are a lot of people there. Tyson also says that he started the business because he knew how much he could help people by growing marijuana. The plant has a lot of medicinal properties and is becoming legal in more states across the United States, opening up the market and making it easier for marijuana farmers to make their businesses work. Number 11. He has an honorary doctorate. Tyson dropped out of high school to pursue boxing at a young age, but because of all of his successes in his career, he was awarded an honorary doctorate from Central State University. The president of the university at the time said he wanted Tyson to have the doctorate because he demonstrates hard work, determination, and perseverance that can overcome any obstacles. And finally, number 12, his message to Muhammad Ali. Tyson looked up to Muhammad Ali when he started boxing and actually watched Ali lose to Larry Holmes in his last match. He was taken to see the match by his coach, Cus D'Amato. Both of them were so upset over Holmes' victory that they called up Ali the next day, and Tyson said, "When I grow up, I'll fight Holmes and I'll get him back for you." 7 years later, Tyson had a fight against Holmes, and Ali was a guest at the fight. Tyson won that fight against Holmes. Pretty crazy. And that concludes today's video. Mike Tyson, his net worth, lifestyle, and how he spends his millions. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notifications so you can be the first to know about my next video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.